Hi, I'm Jackie Kershaw and I work at Meon Junior School in Portsmouth. It's a primary school for about 250 children. Recently we went on a school trip to Selborne where we took lots of ICT equipment with us, such as flip video cameras, microphone recorders and digital cameras.
Hello, today we are learning about Selborne.
Here at Meon Junior School we've been thinking about how we can use ICT to document our school visits. Recently we've been on a school visit to Selborne to compare Selborne with Portsmouth. Before the children went on the school trip, we decided to split them into 5 different groups, each of them using a different ICT technology. We had map makers, photographers, interviewers, building detectives and sound recorders.
Map makers. Who is a map maker in this class? Who would like to describe to me what they did?
The map makers did lots of research on Google Earth and Google Maps before they went. They used them to zoom in using the satellite view so they could see exactly what the locality looked like before they actually arrived there. When the children were actually at Selborne, they drew their own maps with symbols which they'd learnt from Google. They brought those back to the school. They've used a scanner to scan the maps in, and now we're going to upload them onto our VLE. And the next one, let's see who was a photographer. Before we went on our school trip, our photographers practiced using the digital cameras. They would know how to turn them on, how to turn them off, how to zoom in and zoom out, and how to keep them as still as they possibly could. We also researched into the type of photographs that they were going to take. What were they going to take photographs of? And they decided they're going to take photographs of buildings there, comparing them with the ones in Portsmouth. Of the roads, were there any road markings on the roads? What did the roads look like? How wide were there? How many cars were on the roads? Also the landscape. What did the landscape look like? How could they compare the two?
If you were a photographer, you probably took pictures of Portsmouth, and then we went to Selborne and they took pictures of Selborne. So we can look at those 2 pictures and we can see the differences.
When they came back, the children made a photo story 3 using the still images. They narrated the still images they had to create a photo story 3, which we've uploaded onto our school VLE and we've also shared in a school assembly.
This is a picture of flats in Portsmouth, made of bricks with creamy paint. This is an old cottage in Selborne, and it's so different to the ones in Portsmouth.
The next one, the interviewers. Who was an interviewer in this class? Right, who would like to describe to me what they did?
We asked questions like, how long have you lived in Selborne, and ask if there's like parks in Selborne.
Our interviewers thought about the type of questions they were going to ask when they interviewed the local people in Selborne. They wanted to know how long they'd lived there, how many schools there were, how many pubs there were there any hospitals, how far did they have to drive to go and buy their food, and all that sort of thing. Before they went, they practiced using the voice recorders. So the children learned how to turn it on, wait 3 seconds before they started speaking and recording their voices and that sort of thing, how to listen to the recording they'd just made and how to play it back.
When we were interviewing, we had to practice our questions and rehearse. Then we had a tiny listen to it, and then we actually thought it was actually quite good.
When they got back to school, they uploaded the voice recorders onto the VLE and shared them with the school learning community.
This is a house. The brick type is Flemish bonds. The age of the building is 17th century.
So our building detectives took along flip video cameras, and their job was to record what the buildings were made of. Obviously, the buildings in Selborne are very old compared to some of the buildings in Portsmouth, and they were made of all sorts of different old things, which the children recorded on their flip video cameras. And when they bring them back into school, we're going to put those on the VLE as well.
Today we are at Selborne Church. It is from 16th to 17th century. It is made from stone, as you can see by the picture behind me.
We had a sheet what had all different kind of bricks on. We were trying to find them sort of bricks on buildings, and we managed to find quite a few.
And the last category here we're going to have a look at is sound detectives. Who was a sound detective on the day?
Our sound recorders also took easy speak recorders with them, and their job was to record the different sounds in the village compared with Portsmouth. So they recorded things like the birds singing and the leaves rustling in the trees and the roads which were quite quiet, so hardly any traffic on them, and also the odd dog dog barking, things like that. It was very interesting with the sound recorders to listen to the sound that they recorded and not actually look at the visual images they were looking at, but just listen and see the different impressions they got from listening to what it sounded like in Selborne compared to what it sounds like in Portsmouth. When we came back from the school trip, we had 5 different groups with 5 different types of media. So what we did then is the children continued to work in the 5 groups that they'd been working in, and they're collecting their different media technology, and they were working in different ways to upload it onto our school wiki. The children are used to working on our school VLE, and they've done lots of wikis in the past. They've done wikis for their various history and geography topics, and they're used to sharing information. So we've set up a wiki with different links. One for map makers, one for photographers, one for interviewers, one for sound recorders, one for building detectives. The children were either making Photo Story 3 videos, or they were putting sound clips on, or they were scanning documentation to put on the wiki. All the different areas of the wiki have different information which they can then share with their friends in their class and also with the wider learning community.
It makes me feel quite proud to think I've done that, and everyone in the school and people who want to see our website can actually see what we've done.
We have a school in America who we're sharing our work with. We have another school in Worcester who we're sharing our work with. And the children really enjoy getting information back from those other schools who live in totally different parts of the world, some of them.
So you've got to decide what categories you're going to. So go for 2 houses maybe. I'm going to go for 2 different landscapes.
What I'd really like to do now is think of ways of combining the different media which we've collected. For example, it would be really nice to put the photographs with our maps. It would be nice to have the interviewers, their voices being recorded at the same time as we're showing the photographs. And it'd be really nice to have the building detectives with the tweeting of the birds and the dogs barking in the background to that. It was fantastic to see the children using all the ICT technology so easily with really very little preparation beforehand.